That's 4 snaps for you, baby.
Oh shit, it's Sunday again.
Oh, yeah.
It's Sunday, bitch. Yeah.
Getting that cream.
I want the cream. Give daddy that cream.
Getting that cream. Getting that cream.
Brace yourself for the cream.
Hey, friends. Welcome to yet another episode of CPS. My name is Josh, and with me, as always, is the Sultan of Fudge himself, Rick. Rick, how you doing today?
I'm all rested up. I'm limbered up. I'm stretched out. Let's hit it, man. Let's hit it hard.
Limbered up, stretched out. I like the way that you're talking to me, Daddy.
Yeah.
Dude, last week's sode was smooth. Smooth as butter.
Yeah, it was one of those that I kind of looked at the clock and it's like, holy shit, we've been doing this for almost an hour now.
Yeah, it's like once in a while you get lucky with those, you know?
I don't mind it. It kind of shows that we're actually getting better at this as we're going along.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll get better and better. Dude, we're getting a lot of listeners. I just, these come out a week after we record them, but I just promoted it for the first time on social media after we have a few under our belt. I just did it a few minutes ago. You probably haven't seen it yet.
Yep, I shared I think it was Instagram.
Yeah.
I shared that on my thing. I think it was Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where I feel like if you listen to podcasts, you're more likely to listen to a new podcast. But if you're not in that, you're not going to start listening to a new podcast. You kind of have to be a podcast listener, I guess. You know.
Yeah, or you'd be like me and pretty much just listen to like Joe Rogan whenever he like interviews like 1 out of 30 people.
Yeah. Yeah, it all depends. Like Rogan, you can't go wrong because every once in a while, no matter who you are, he'll have somebody on that you'll find interesting, you know? Because he has such a broad range.
You know who should start a podcast if they don't already have one?
Who's that?
Justin Roiland.
This motherfucker?
I want to hear what's going on in his head, and I want him to get blackout drunk for every single episode and just like narrate his whole life with like 1,000 characters.
It's just the Michael Jackson song, Just Beat It. And it's just like him pummeling people. Although,
he's
who knows, man? We talked about this last time, but who knows? He might be off the hook eventually. It's, you know, the whole bullshit about that is the fact that maybe he did it, maybe he didn't. Who knows, right? But the fact that Adult Swim cut ties with him before he was convicted, like he's just charged, which means somebody's taking him to court for it, which doesn't mean anything. Like if you can get charged,
but
you know,
I bet part of the conversation was, well, for now we have to do this because of the situation. But if things work out in your favor, you know, obviously it's your show and the door's going to be open for you. I think they've already kind of laid that out. I don't think it's totally cut ties. I don't think anything is really permanent nowadays. Yeah,
so if you're like Justin Roiland, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, who just got charged with battery against his lady, Adult Swim, the network that has Rick and Morty on, cut ties with him. If you're them, you say to him, like, hey, Justin, I know you've been charged with this, but we have to cut ties with you for now and publicly say that because you understand how, you know, things are these days. But if it turns out that you're innocent, then you can come back.
You know what he probably said? He probably went in the Mr. Poopy Butthole voice. He was, "Aw, man.
Shucks.
Aw, no. Aw, shucks." All right, okay.
Woo-wee. That sounds pretty crazy to me.
This is all crazy and new to me.
Oh, geez. Well, we'll stay tuned, folks. We'll see what happens.
We'll be back for more seasons and more episodes. We have to go to court first.
That's great. It'd be funny if like he is convicted and says fuck it and then doesn't come back and makes another show called like Dick and Shorty. And it's like,
dude, why not? Why not?
That'd be great.
That guy, I'm going to call it now. He's probably going to make some of the best media throughout his life. Like, even if he doesn't nothing for a couple of years because he's been blacklisted, like, I think just his creativity and like the cult following that he has, I think, I mean, not only is he going to be okay, but I think he's going to I think the best shit is ahead of him. I mean, honestly.
Yeah.
I have not checked out Koala Man. That does look pretty cool. I don't even know if that's out on Hulu yet.
I don't know what that is. Is it like a guy that's half koala bear or something?
No, he just like wears a koala mask and he's like a superhero, but he's just like a normal guy.
Like Batman.
I don't even know if they're going to still premiere it now.
Oh, it's a new thing. It hasn't been out yet.
Yeah, very new. I don't even, I think ever since this whole thing came out with him, I haven't seen any like advertising for it. So I don't even know if it's still coming out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll see. They probably cut ties with that too. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see how many episodes it takes for us to get banned. We're trying real hard.
I was listening to last week's no context on, or no, this upcoming one because I pulled it up on my TV.
Yeah.
And Emily's listening to it and she goes, "So you're cool with like your work listening to this?" I'm like, first of all, they're not going to listen to it, and second of all, like I don't really say anything like too stupid, so I'm not really worried about it.
Well, dude, that's the whole point of those no context is anybody could take anything out of context and make it sound terrible and horrible.
Yeah.
And we're doing it for them. We're doing it in advance. So we're just going to take the most ridiculous shit that we say in any episode and just put it out of order in a random thing. And it's just like the craziest things we say in an hour. That's it. That's all it is.
I think at the start, I think definitely the episodes are going to be like the leading factors. But I think after a while, when we get like more of a following, I think those no contexts are really going to stand out as what kind of like separates us from the lames of the world.
Yeah. No, they're interesting, and you got music in the background, and it's just us saying ridiculous shit the entire time for 2 minutes straight. So yeah, it's entertaining, you know.
I mean, you think about it, it's you flexing your FL Studio muscle. You know, it's you really like sitting there and be like, all right, motherfuckers, here we go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some crazy shit, and you're gonna just buckle in and go along for the ride.
That's the thing. A lot of people that like do end up listening to this won't know that I do all the production stuff. So I like the intro song I did, the no context song I did. It's my voice in all the intro. People won't know that. Like, obviously I deepened it so nobody could tell it was me, but when the guy says give daddy that cream, that's just me saying that. cream. Yeah, give daddy that, you know? But
yeah.
It's a funny intro. It works, you know? But yeah. Yeah. So I'm just, you know, and I've gotten pretty fast at that. I just because I gotta go through and edit it anyways. So while I'm going through and editing it, I'll just snip things out that I think would sound funny without any context.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
No, I think it's a killer idea, dude. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a few people that reached out that said they listen. So it's weird.
Mr. Kyle told me that he's an avid listener. So
oh no, I think I called him out on his Hennessy drinking on the last sode. Hopefully he's not butthurt about it.
That's all right, man. I think he appreciates the shout out. I think everybody does.
Kyle Ham, shout out. Yeah, he's gonna get rock
I got
hard.
a tattoo. I got a tattoo yesterday on my calf, and my fucking leg is so. I got a tattoo on my calf.
Yeah,
and my whole leg is so freaking swollen. It's kind of annoying.
Which calf, right or left?
My right one. I got my left calf tattooed last year, and then I got one on my right calf yesterday.
What'd you get?
I got a red fire hazard placard symbol on my calf.
Just the symbol? Like what is the symbol of a fire hazard? Is it a flame?
Well, so technically it's for flammable liquids, but it's like a red diamond and then like 1993 across it because that's the classification for that. And then there's a 3 on the bottom. But obviously for me, that means like March 93. But that's the same thing that they use for like, so if you see like a fuel truck or something like that, they have that same placard on the back of their truck.
And it says 93
it's just something
on it?
that, yeah.
Oh, so it just happens to be your birth year too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. And you do safety shit. I mean, that all works out. It all ties together.
Exactly. Yeah, because I'm gonna end up getting more like safety tattoos and like danger kind of shit too as I'm going along. So that's kind of like the first.
So this is like a lifelong pursuit for you, being a safety guy. Like that's just your thing forever.
I mean, it is now. since 7:00 yesterday at night.
You're stuck with it now. Would you ever like think that you might want to switch industries at some point down the road, and you'll have like all the safety stuff on your body, and then it's like, well, you know,
I don't know, because like I'm pretty good at the safety shit, and the problem is like I even have like an intern that works with us now, and she talks about getting her master's, and they're doing. In my mind, I don't know if this is like foolish, but I think I have enough schooling that I need to like have a career. But like eventually I'm going to make the full transition over to like just YouTube and like making videos and making music to the point that it's like, what would be the point in me getting a master's degree in something I'm already like set in? Whereas like 10 years down the road, I'm just going to be making videos every day. Like to that, like that's the difference in my mind.
Dude, I mean, it's too bad you can't find a way to make a full-time living just off of video production. Like, make as much money as you're making now, but only do that. You know what I mean?
So I am starting to like open that door a little bit at work. Like I did that.
Well, here's a question for you. I sorry to interrupt, but you got the safety tattoo, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you like the safety thing, and you went to school for it, and you do it now as your livelihood and everything. But you're actually passionate about making videos. Like that's your passion, right? That's what you feel like you want to do.
Yes.
How come you don't have any video tattoos yet? You should have those way before the safety tattoo.
I don't know. I mean, even like the whole like Danger Rick thing, because that all started with me just making music videos, and it's gonna kind of like blossom into me just like releasing like short films and all that other kind of stuff. And
yeah,
I don't know. It's just like to me, I got to the point where it's like, all right, safety is the career, film is the hobby and the passion, but I can turn the safety stuff into the film stuff. Like at work, I did that video that now it's like, it's been seen by guys over in like the UK, like for the global company. And now it's been sent up to like their bosses. And yeah. So they're going to start having me be a part of kind of like an outreach program at work. So I've only done one video for them so far, but I mean, it's the way the ship is sailing is kind of leading towards more video work. Cause it'd be nice if I could do like half video, half safety stuff at work, and then I don't know, it just doubles up my experience doing the film stuff. So I don't know. Right. I mean, even Friday I worked from home and did some voiceover stuff, and that's when I had all that FL Studio freaking fiasco.
Oh yeah, that's never happened to me. That's crazy. But I don't have a Mac. I just have always had PCs, so I don't know.
Well, it's like I made the whole freaking project, and it's like 21 tracks, and I tried to export it, and every single time I exported it, it came out as the same audio. Yeah. And it's like, all right, well, I'm muting certain tracks, I'm playing certain tracks, and then it's just like a full day of me like getting verification emails and back and forth, and it's like, this is freaking ridiculous, dude.
That's annoying. It's funny how like whatever your hobby is for work, you always find, or whatever your hobby, it always finds a way into like your actual livelihood. Like me for music. You know, I worked for a company on the East Coast in sales, and I made a theme song for the fucking company that we repped, and they still play it, and it's like their theme song now, and thousands and thousands of people have heard it, and they do it at like the annual meeting every year. They play it, and nobody knows I'm the one that did it, and I didn't get any money for it. I just did it for fun. And I've done like 4 or 5 of those songs for companies throughout the years just because I happened to be affiliated with them or work for them, and I never got a dime from any of them. And you figured I would learn by now. But they just, and then they find out you make music, and then, you know, you probably experience this with videos too, but when somebody finds out that you do something, even for like the podcast thing now, somebody finds out that you do something artistic or something out of the realm of normal banker's hours, 9 to 5 livelihood type shit, like something like that, they always want to reach out and be a part of it. The amount of people that have messaged me asking to be on a track, or like I'll say like it gets brought up organically that I work on music sometimes, or that I produce music. Like, and I'm in a room of 10 people, 8 people think that they work on music. To be like, oh yeah, well you got to hear my buddy, actually he's a rapper, or like, oh yeah, well I have a mixtape that just came out. So it's one of those things, everybody thinks that they're an artist in something, you know. And maybe most of them are, I guess. I don't know.
I believe everybody's a creator. Everybody's creative, but not everybody's an artist in the same sense. Like, I just started reading the new Rick Rubin book, and it's basically like everything you do, from wiping your ass to combing your hair to like cleaning your car, like everything has your own like twang on it. So like everything you do is customized to like your own personality. And I mean, even I started putting together this bottle cap project down in my basement, and I mean, I just created little designs and shit with it, but I mean, that's me being artistic and being creative. And I've only read like the first 10 pages of it, but basically the gist is, you know, everybody's creative to an extent, and certain people just like to tap into it, and other people like to say they don't have any when they do, but they just don't realize it.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. It probably reflects in everything you do, I guess.
And Rick Rubin's the OG, so he knows what he's talking about.
He's worked with everybody, man. He's worked with
That guy's
so
a
many
freaking
people.
That guy. If I got to meet that, there's a very small list of people I would like want to meet and just like chill with, and like he's definitely on that list.
He was on one of my favorite podcasters, Lex Friedman's podcast, and he was talking about a bunch of stuff, and then he went on Rogan like a few weeks later, and in between those two podcasts, his house caught on fire, and he had to jump out the window to survive. And he was telling the whole story on Rogan. He's like, yeah, I was on Lex Friedman's podcast. And then a couple weeks after that, or a day after that or whatever, my house caught on fire. My wife was screaming and I just went back to sleep because I thought it was going to be fine. And then he's like, he was crawling around on his floor in the house. He realized he couldn't see like 2 feet in front of him because the whole house was filled with smoke, and he thought he was going to die. And the last thing he was thinking was, thank God I finished that book.
Yep.
He's like, thank God I finished that was like his thought, because he thought he was going to die. And then he managed to get out.
I actually did listen to both those episodes, but yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Isn't that crazy? Dude, that is exactly, it's so weird because you put everything, if you're into a certain type of art, like I am, when I get on the music shit and I'm working on a project, it's almost like nothing else in the world matters except for that. And in hindsight, you realize that's not the case, because then life goes on afterwards and it's just an old project and you never look at it again. But in the time that you're working on it, it's so important, even though for my case, 10 people are going to listen to it, but I don't care. For me, it's that important, And,
yeah, I mean, definitely the way you approach your music is the same way I approach my video shit. Like when I'm working on it, like realistically, I don't really have a project that stays in the editing bay for more than a week now. I mean, as soon as I get the footage like into the editor and I start cranking it out, I mean, it's pretty much all waking hours that I'm at home and not digging off. I mean, I'm basically like on it, just trying to get it done, because it's not even like, all right, it's Sunday night, I need to get this done by Thursday to upload. It's like, no, I just want to work on it because it's fun to do. And then all of a sudden it's like, shit, it's Wednesday morning. I already have it done. I might as well upload it for Friday. It's like one of those deals.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I'll go back and I'll work on it too long. I'll overproduce. I'll like try and tweak the minor details forever, and they'll never be perfect. And I'll say fuck it and give up. That's what I'll do usually.
Yeah, but I think you can tell that with your music and stuff is just, you can tell that you've gone back and done the 10 extra passes after the original 40 passes.
I always get the compliment. It's not even the compliment you want, but I always get it. Like, dude, so what did you think? People be like, oh yeah, I listened to it. I'm be like, okay, what'd you think? That's cool. Thank you. What do you think? And they'll be like, I could tell you worked really hard on it. It's like, it's like a backhanded compliment kind of, It's like, well, you could tell I put in a lot of effort to it, but you didn't say that you liked it, or, it's always, oh, I could tell that you spent a long time on it. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't take that as like an insult. I mean, even like the video I did for work, it got to the point where they're like, all right, so we're going to, like, my intention was, all right, well, I'll show it to the people at the site. Like, that's it. And all of a sudden my boss is like, no, let's show it to my boss. And the things happen. And like, now it's going to like the parent company of my company, and it's going to go across everything. And they're like, well, maybe instead of, sending it out through the training system, we can just have people come and watch it on the big screen, and we'll make popcorn. And now it's going to be like this whole fucking day of people are going to come and like watch my video. And I have to like sit there and be like, I'm Eric, and this is my video, and watch them sit there for 5 minutes, watch my video as I'm like, my heart is just pounding out of my chest. Yeah. And I'm like, not prepared for that.
It's embarrassing when you're showing other people, new people, like what you work on creatively. Yeah. It's fucking.
I mean, I'm sure after like the third or fourth round of people sitting in there eating popcorn and watching my shit, it's not a big deal. But it's like, my boss was so excited. She's like, well, no, it'll be real cool. Like, you can sit there and like, you'll get live feedback. And I'm like, well, that's not really the intention. Like, I made it because like I wanted to make it, not because like I wanted to sit here and force people to eat popcorn and watch it on a dinky TV,
Eat the popcorn, bitch. We got something playing, motherfucker. Check it out.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know.
Speaking of TV, you know what I watched recently? You see on Netflix that 90s show?
I saw that it's on there. I haven't watched any of the episodes though.
You know, like the premise, it's like that 70s show.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's just like their grandkids now, so they're kids. Dude, I watched.
So did you start watching it?
Yeah, I watched an episode. Dude, it was actually really good.
Yeah, I was reading reviews and they said it's
no.
basically like the same kind of humor from the 70s show.
It's fucking terrible. The show fucking sucks. It's
it?
the worst fucking piece of shit show I've ever seen in my life. That show should not exist at all. It's terrible. It's like people are so past the point of sitcoms now. First of all, it's just not watchable anymore. I mean, you watch the classics, you know, like you can still watch the old sitcoms and stuff because, you know, there's nostalgia with them. That's a big part of it. And you could tell it's made from a different era and they're awesome. Like I still crush Seinfeld and shit, you know? But trying to make a new sitcom in 2023 just doesn't make sense. It's bad. It's like that 70s show, but not as funny. And all the kids in it they look way younger. I don't know what the fuck happened with kids in the past 20 years. Whatever generation came right after ours, everybody looks so young, dude. Maybe that's just because maybe they've always looked like that and we didn't notice. But no, that's not even true because if you watch that 70s show, the kids don't look like that. They look like
they were like the same age, but like they actually looked like 18, 19, 20-year-olds.
Yeah, but the kids
Whereas
now
it looks like a bunch of fucking middle schoolers sitting around drinking soda pop.
That's exactly it. It's weird. What the fuck happened to people in the past 20 years? Like 16-year-olds when we were 16, and not just because we were 16. Like something has changed where kids look younger now than they used to. And that's not just us getting older. That's like you look at a 16-year-old from 2005 versus 2015 even. They're different looking things.
Well, yeah, I mean, even if you go back to like Vietnam time era people, like people's pictures when they were drafted into the military at 18, like they look like grown men, you know?
Yeah. Nowadays, an 18-year-old looks like he can barely wipe his ass. It's the weirdest thing. They look like children.
Yeah.
Maybe they're coddled too much, or maybe there's something wrong with the hormones in the food we eat. I don't know. Something's going on though.
Yeah, everybody looks like a bunch of little fucking ninnies.
You know what it might be? It might be plastic. There's a big concern with plastic and how much we use it with everything, and it interfering with hormones and all that type of shit.
My dad's betting on the use of our deodorants that we use and the body wash that's slowly killing us. Oh,
the aluminum in the deodorant, you mean?
Yep. I had that conversation multiple times with my dad, and he's like, I don't know, I feel like it's gonna be something big, like just deodorant that people use every day, and it's fucking screwing people up. It's like that might be it. But I mean, I'd rather have people not smell like total dog shit around me, so I'll take the risks.
I'll use the natural deodorant. Everyone else has to use the aluminum shit because I don't want to smell a bunch of smelly fucks at the gym, fucking sweating all over everything.
Dude, I was at this is fucking weird. I was at Planet Fitness yesterday, and I was just I did like 2 hours of cardio. And,
2 hours, Jesus, Murphy, you're gonna be like a fucking marathon runner.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I got like I know you. Are you still doing the that 1,000-mile running thing?
Yep, I'm at about 70 miles for the month. I got a little bit behind, but yeah, I'm still doing it.
So I'm doing that, but I'm doing 1,000 miles on the treadmill, probably just walking, and then 1,000 biking too. So I'll do both those.
Damn, well that's like 3 miles a day on each.
Yeah, but I mean, I just do it an hour a day. So it's like I either walk like 3.6 miles or I bike like, I don't know, like I usually get like 18 miles in like an hour. But I save that for like leg day because I can't really walk after I'm doing like hack squat and shit.
Yeah.
But
what happened at Planet Fitness? Some smelly fuck?
Dude, this fucking, he was like a long hair. I don't know if he was homeless or what, but he was like, he was probably like 20 years old. Yep. He had long, like blonde, greasy hair. He walked from like outside of Planet Fitness into the locker room at least like 6 times. Jeez. And there was twice when I walked in there and he's sitting in there with his shirt off. And in the bathrooms of Planet Fitness, they don't have paper towel dispensers because like they don't want people to clog the toilets or whatever. But he's in there with paper towel, like with his shirt off, wiping his armpits and like wiping his forehead. And it's like, dude, if you're in here like because you're homeless, like that's cool or whatever, but like go fucking take a shower. Like I can smell you before I round the corner. Before I see you, I can fucking smell you, dude. And he's just wearing like like 3 layers of fucking flannel and shit. And it's like, dude, what are you doing?
I wonder if those people, they probably just don't realize. They've probably been smelling like that. They're just used to it.
It's just like I walk in the locker room and it's like, dude, you are putrid. Like, what have you been doing for the last half hour in here? Like, I came in here to rock a piss halfway through my workout, and now you're like still in here, like touching yourself and shit. It's just freaking weird, dude. Just
rubbing his fucking sweaty, grungy nut bag all over the doorknobs and shit.
He's just like licking all the freaking the handles to the lockers and shit. It's like, what are you doing?
Oh yeah.
Fuck your mother. Yeah.
Go fuck Joey Diaz voice.
Go fuck your mother.
It's blue cheese. Go fuck your mother, cocksucker. Oh. Dude, the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, by the way. I don't know if you watched the game earlier. We're always a week behind.
Fly, Eagles, fly, baby.
Fly, Eagles. Fuck the Eagles. I only say that because I'm a Cowboys fan, which unfortunately kind of sucks because they've been mediocre for 20 years. But, dude, somebody was telling me the Eagles had to double their jail cell size in the stadium because they've been so successful lately. People have been going nuts.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah. I think they were the first sports team to have to put a jail cell in the stadium. They threw batteries and snowballs at Santa Claus. Philly fans are insane.
Yeah.
Insane. They have to grease all the telephone poles in Philadelphia tonight. So people, if they won, people wouldn't climb them.
Yeah, I was scrolling through Instagram up until you called me, and I saw we got guys in Philly climbing freaking telephone, or not even telephone poles, but like stoplights and shit.
Yeah, yeah. They'll burn that city down whether they win or lose just because they're in a game.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Dude, it's a game at the end of the day. I mean, it's fun to root for teams and it's fun to watch whatever, but could you imagine burning down your own city because you're the team that's playing a game wins that happens to be you know what I mean? Could you burn down your own city because of that?
I think my best example of this would be in the movie Semi-Pro when they win the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl or whatever it is at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And then you see this cop car getting rocked and the cop car gets tipped over. And then it reveals that it was four police officers that actually tipped it over and they're all celebrating. And that's just the vibe in Philly. It's just police officers flipping over their own vehicles. We might as well, dude.
Yeah. Philadelphia. Dude, and by the way, speaking of Philadelphia, fuck a Philly cheesesteak. That shit is so overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, steak and cheese with Cheese Whiz, dude. Get the fuck out of here. You got shaved steak, you put it on a grill and you put Cheese Whiz on it and threw it in a bun and you're going to call it a masterpiece. It's one of the best things. One of the most sought after. That is your food of choice in Philadelphia. It's fucking shaved cube steak on a fucking Italian roll with Cheese Whiz. Get the fuck out of here. That's your culinary masterpiece as a city? What are you fucking, you numbskulls? And by the way, they have a statue of Rocky Balboa in Philadelphia. That's who they look up to. Fucking, You know the funny thing about Rocky Balboa?
Probably not.
He's not fucking real. He's not a real dude. He's from a movie. It's Sylvester Stallone in a movie. Is not even from Philadelphia. It doesn't make any sense. They have a statue of him. And they worship Rocky. They'll at the Philadelphia Eagles games, they'll show Rocky on the Jumbotron. People will be like, ooh, you know?
Well, did you ever see that they were putting a Walter White and a Jesse Pinkman statue in New Mexico?
No, I did not see that. That's insane.
Yeah, this was I think it's out there now, but this is a couple months ago that they were gonna put the statues out there because it resulted in so much revenue for the state and jobs
people going there
to
visit.
They made so much money, but and then people in the area were like, well, why would we want to be promoting drugs and blah blah blah? And it's that's not the point, dude. It's this show really put that region of the United States on the map again.
Okay, so people go there as tourism to see where they filmed Breaking Bad.
Yeah, and all the blue meth that was in the episodes, all that stuff was just rock candy that they made in town. So that place sells Breaking Bad blue. What was it? Blue Sky. So you can buy blue crystal meth at a candy store in New Mexico.
That is kind of weird that they're selling fake meth to kids and then there's a drug kingpin statue that they worship. That is kind of odd, even though it's fictional and did bring revenue to the city. I do get where they're coming from. You think about it like that.
I mean, if that ain't American, I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, that's a good point, dude. God bless the U.S. of A.
Only crayons I need are the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I stood up and I told that teaching lady the only letters I need to know are U.S. and A. Yeah.
Get me a beer.
This morning we were just waiting for people to come over to watch football, and we're just scrolling through. We watched Jack Black King Kong. You ever see that? The old King Kong, like 2005 or something. I remember it being a lot better than it was, to be honest.
That was like the weird area of like CGI where like from the 90s, like the late 90s to like probably like 2010 was like all the weird fucking CGI where it's like you could tell it was like very fake and it looked real, but like it kind of like made you sit weird.
Yeah, it's not quite there.
I mean, comparing that to like what was it, Kong Island? Like that King Kong like freaking blew my mind. Like that was legit, looked amazing.
Like looked real.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even get to the King Kong part because the first hour and a half of the movie or whatever, there's no King Kong. It's just a bunch of dumbasses on a boat trying to make a movie, and Jack Black's freaking out, just like looking at the waves, like, we got to make this movie, you know? And I was like, this sucks. So then I shut it off. But
yeah, I ended up watching what was it, like 85 Days in Normandy or something. It was all about starting with D-Day and like the next 85 days of World War II. It's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, what's that on?
I believe that was on Paramount Plus because I went through there and I like went to their movies and all movies and it's just like the most obscure bullshit. But like I stumbled upon a 45-minute documentary of the Normandy stuff, and I mean a lot of the stuff I knew, but I'm a big like World War II and like Vietnam era like timeline kind of junkie.
Yeah, I mean, dude, World War II, they talk about like is one of they make the most documentaries and video games about it because it's the last war that America was in that we're actually proud of winning.
Yeah.
You know, which is kind of true in a way. I mean, nobody liked Vietnam, so.
Yeah, and I think people are just tired of shooting in fucking Call of Duty too.
Whoa. Drop. We got a bomb on. I'm gonna have to comb that slur.
Put one of the epic mealtime crows like,
shooting a bunch of yeah. I will do that.
I don't know, man.
I will do that. Goddamn. You said it, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah, brother.
Man, I'm just trying to hold back my whole being right now. Just trying to make it PG right now.
Oh no, we can go R. We can go R. I said cunt in the last episode.
Hell yeah, brother.
I did. I said cunt in the last episode, but we'll see how that goes over. I mean, whatever. Just a word.
That's good. We're not flagged yet.
No, we're not flagged yet. Well, we only have a few listeners. We'll see how long we last. Dude, Mr. Beast cured blindness for all those people? That's crazy.
Dude, I watched that video. That freaking blew my mind.
I didn't realize, well, the title makes it sound different because these people are like, they have some vision. They're not completely blind. They're just legally blind, you know? So everything's just blurry for them. They can't see shapes, which is basically blind. You could just see colors and shapes. Or
yeah,
fuzziness.
I'll admit it though. I think when I clicked the video, my first impression was, all right, these are going to be 1,000 people that have never seen anything in their life. It's been black their whole life, and they're going to be able to see it for the first time. And it was a lot of like I hit my head 4 years ago, and I haven't been able to see shit ever since. Like, which is still cool, but it's not like blackout blindness all of a sudden to like seeing full 1080 color and
yeah. It's a little misleading. Yeah. Still fucking badass, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look at us fucking criticizing him for
he didn't even cure
manipulating
people.
the video details.
What an asshole. Yeah.
This guy's a fucking fake.
He's a phony. Speaking of, we had a guy over watching football with us who was colorblind. And I didn't realize like 12 out of every, I think, what was it? 12 out of every 100? Out of 100 men, every 12 are colorblind or something like that. Like a very high. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of them don't realize they're colorblind because they just learn what they think colors are supposed to look like and they memorize it, but they don't actually see the colors, you know?
I mean, they don't know. Yeah. Cause like to them, they're just judging things off levels of gray.
Right. Well, it's more complicated than that. So there's 3 cones in your eye. And usually when you're colorblind, one of the cones doesn't work correctly. So you know how like the 3 primary colors all form other colors?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's red, green, and yellow are the 3 primaries, if I remember correctly. But
Red, yellow, and blue.
Well, there's RGB, red, green, and blue, but that's for like video, which is different than the primary cones in your actual eyeball.
Yeah.
They just do it in video. It's RGB for some reason, but I think eyes is red, green, yellow. I don't know. Anyways, there's 3 cones in your eye. Red is definitely one of them. But if you're colorblind, just one cone doesn't work, so it mixes the 2 colors instead of 3. You know what I mean? So you're missing one element. So they see like shades of. This guy just sees like he can't tell the difference between red and green because he's missing the red cone or something. So, you know, Christmas time looks like one color to him. He doesn't get both.
Well, that's like when I was in college, we basically did like a breakdown of like the human eye and like the cones and rods and all the stuff that you were just talking about.
Yeah.
And I was basically in there for like 2 weeks and I was like, what the fuck are we learning about this? And then we get to the point where we're like, all right, so this is the first film camera and we broke down like the guts of that and this and that and like f-stops and frame rate and this and that and whatever. And it kind of really gave you a better understanding for how the human eye works and how they basically tried to replicate that and then like have a way for it to like print on like a physical medium, which is kind of cool. But yeah, all the cones and rod stuff is kind of cool because I remember him talking about that in that class. He's like, yep. So what is it? So it's the cones. So if you have a miss number of cones, like it doesn't, like just pick up color or whatever it is. So yeah, it's pretty neat.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how it works. I'm no scientist, but it's how do you describe a color to somebody that's never seen the color before? You can't put it into words, you know?
Well, like a lot of these people too, like they're in like elementary school and all of a sudden they're like, they find out and they had no idea.
Yeah, well, Lita has a friend, my lady has a friend that wanted to be a pilot or something. And during his application process, he found out he's colorblind, so he can't be. Like he had no idea until he took the test. So what are you talking about? I'm not colorblind. They're like, yeah, you are. You can't see this. He's like, what?
That must really piss you off.
Imagine. What the fuck? That's crazy.
Well, that's like, imagine all the people that grew up without ever seeing themselves in a reflection.
Oh, like actual blind people?
Like before mirrors and shit. Like people lived so long and they had no idea what they actually looked like.
Well, water. You can see yourself in water. If you go to a pond.
I guess that's true.
And look at it. That's like the only way you could do it though, right? There's nothing else shiny enough.
Yeah, unless you're like staring down a glacier or something. But yeah, probably just the water.
Yeah, you'd have to have the water be like the only reflective surface naturally, I think.
So I'm trying to pull back my memories from watching Aladdin, but don't they make glass from like melting sand or something?
Yeah, it's sand and something else. It sounds so stupid. It's sand and something else that makes glass. Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they had that little learning lesson in Aladdin at some point. So that's where I'm pulling my
in
reference
Aladdin.
From. So very reputable source at Disney.
You mean like the Disney movie Aladdin? Like
yes, like the cartoon from the 90s.
They talk about how to make glass.
I think at one point, yeah, that's where my brain is going to.
I don't think that ever happened in the movie Aladdin.
I don't fucking know, man.
Oh, it's limestone. It's sand and limestone, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Jamie, check it out.
Yeah, pull that up. Yeah, it's
hey, Jamie.
Sand, soda ash, and limestone that are melted at a very high temperature to form a new material, glass. At high temperature, glass is structurally similar to liquids. However, at ambient temperature, it behaves like solids. Look at that.
Merp, merp. Yo, I finally watched the video of Dana White slapping his wife.
Oh, dude, you're a little behind on that. Yeah, New Year's. How crazy is that?
Yeah. That's and the whole time, like we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, I was kind of joking about like, oh, is she getting jail time? Oh, is she losing her shares in the UFC? But dude, she fucking smacks him in the face first. It's like, what do you? And then like, I understand you should never hit a woman or whatever, but it's
right.
It's like if a chick is gonna be punching me in the face, I'm probably gonna like shove her away from me or something. Like I'm not gonna just like let her like bust me up.
No, you have the right to protect yourself.
Yeah, maybe not slap her.
I mean,
in
he was
drunken stupor.
He clearly wasn't in any danger and was not going to be injured. It wasn't for his. It was just to slap her back, you know.
He could have just thrown her over the railing and seen what happened.
Dude, I haven't heard any updates about that. They kind of just swept it under the rug, said, fuck it. They're both drunk. Who cares?
I mean, as it should be. Why would you want to freaking make a huge deal out of that. Like,
who
it's
knows?
ridiculous, dude.
Maybe they both apologize and they get along fine, so they're just whatever. And, it's not newsworthy. I mean, bigger shit's going on. Who cares?
Or maybe he did it as like a publicity thing to like promote his slap boxing sports business now.
You ever watch those videos of those guys getting slapped? Like,
Yeah, I saw one guy, his head was like an extra like third size on like the size that he getting smacked with.
dude, it's wild. They put like a powder all over their hands so you can see it too. And they just slap each other as hard as I don't understand why the fuck you would want to do that.
You can almost like, I've never gotten smacked in the head like that, but like you can almost feel like the way it would feel with like the hand just smacking you like on the temple and your ear and your cheek and shit.
You definitely go deaf in an ear and you start to see spots and then you fall over and black out or whatever, get knocked unconscious. Some of those dudes just topple over.
Well, it doesn't help that you got these like freaking world's strongest men looking guys, like these guys that are like 6'4", 330 pounds. Like,
Yeah.
all right. It's like, are you shitting me, dude?
Yeah. Fucking crazy. I would never do that.
Yeah, you got to set the bar somewhere.
There's I wanted to bring this up. I've been experimenting with the ganja again. I took a lot of time off of it because I got too paranoid after a while,
Yeah.
And a couple days ago, I fucking went too far. I was trying to push my limits, just to see where that line is, where I become uncomfortable. And I accidentally found that line and went way beyond it a couple nights ago.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. That shit sucks, man. At least when you like drink too much, it takes a while and you just feel like shit for a day or two. But when you get too high, at least for me, I was like almost living in a parallel universe,
Yeah.
It's terrifying, dude. Terrifying. I didn't know what to do. I had to jump in the shower to calm myself down.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't do that. You ever think about that?
Yeah. Well, it's fucking crazy. Like, so when it happened, I was like, oh, I've been here before. Like, you don't remember what it feels like until you go back there, And then when you're on the other side of it again, you can't really describe it. But when you go back into that place, in that mind state, it's like, oh, I felt this before. This sucks. I remember it now, and I'm here again. And like I said, I had to get in the Lita helped me. I was like, I don't know what to do. I jumped in the shower, for a few minutes, and it fucking sucked. It was just ruined the whole night,
You gotta write it out. I mean, I've definitely had situations like similar to that, and I mean, like I've had experiences where I like start overthinking things that like I don't think about when I'm not high.
Yep.
And I mean, obviously that's part of it or whatever, but a lot of it's like I start scrolling through like my YouTube channel. And it's like, fuck, did I really upload this video? Like, fuck, did I really make this song? I was like, dude, what am I thinking? Like, what am I doing? And then I get to the point where I like sober back up and I'm like, the best quote that's like really kind of like shaped me over the last like year or two is really, why care what other people think when they do so little? Which basically like, yeah, like you're going to put something out there and somebody could say something on Facebook or say something to you in real life, but that's like a 20-second interaction for something that like doesn't matter. And like realistically, it's not like people just sit at their house all day and think about, did you see Eric's new video? Like that kind of shit. And it's just like, I got to that point of, I don't really worry about it. So like the only time that I get high anymore is just, I kind of get to that point of, oh, like, should I still be doing this? Like, I feel embarrassed like when I'm in that mode. And then like when I sober up, I'm like, no, I'm not really embarrassed because it's like, it's what I like to do and I'm going to put it out and I don't really care about the response. Mm-hmm. But like, I do feel stupid about it at certain times. But I mean, that's the final step of like making art for me is just putting it out there. Like, I feel like that's all part of the process. You can't just like make a painting and put it in your attic. Like you got to put it out there and you got to show it to people,
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to tiptoe around my words a little bit, not to sound too stupid.
No, you don't sound stupid. You don't sound stupid at all.
My nose is running like a motherfucker too. I don't know what the hell happened.
You got a little cold over there, guy?
I don't know, man. I keep wiping my snotties against the back of my hand, and now the back of my hand is all different color and shit.
Oh, Jesus, Murph, that's disgusting. Get a tissue, you animal.
I think I'm evolving.
Yeah. Devolving to a fucking Neanderthal.
I must be pure.
I was at the gym the other day running on the treadmill, and this Mozart song came on. I was listening to classical music, and the weirdest thing, I was running at the perfect speed where my feet were hitting the treadmill at the same time in the same tempo as the song.
Yeah.
And that lasted for like 12 minutes straight. It was the weirdest fucking thing. It was pretty cool though. Yeah. I think it was like the 25th. I don't fucking know. Mozart 25th.
When I actually used to go running, I would put on the Skrillex, the Bangarang album. And when I'd be like running through the woods, I would like my footprints or my footsteps would be like level with the music, which was kind of cool and like kept me like going at a good pace.
You used to run through the woods?
Yeah, over by my parents' house back when I lived with them.
Oh, like you would go through
Like
for a
on trails
jog,
and shit,
but-
not just like aimlessly through the woods.
Okay. Well, that makes more sense.
Yeah, no, I would run on the trail like at the end of the street, and I would
Yeah.
run that. But no, I'm not just running through the woods looking to fucking break my ankle.
I'm just picturing like you, a younger you running through the woods listening to Skrillex, just running aimlessly. Jesus Christ. We got to move, honey.
I don't even have headphones. I have like one of those drawstring bags with like a big ass like boom speaker, and I'm just like running, and everybody can hear me within a half mile.
Just running. Yeah. Oh boy. That red-haired boy's back. He's running behind the house again, honey.
That boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right.
You those boys whacking it?
Oh, I was going to ask you, did you listen to the Lil Yachty album I sent you?
No, I did watch.
Oh.
I don't know if it was a music video or something. It was some type of video he put on YouTube. I watched that.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of strange.
Dude, I'm not a fan of Lil Yachty. His music has never been good. It's never been my cup of tea at all. And I'm not a big fan of his voice. But new album is pretty wild.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy that he came out with that. I mean, not every song is good, but there's a couple of songs that are really good, I think. But it's like it sounds like Pink Floyd instrumentals, some of them.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. You could have Pink Floyd sing
I'm
over
really
it.
looking forward to the new Macklemore album. I think that'll be pretty cool.
Oh, really? I didn't even know he still existed. He's still making music?
I mean, by that point, I mean you basically make enough money to make more music, and that's it. So
Yeah,
Kinda
I
got
guess you're
to.
right. Yeah. He yeah, I don't even know any of those songs. I guess Thrift Shop.
I mean, it's not even like that kind of. I mean, I like. He came out with an album when he was in college called Professor Macklemore, and
yeah.
that whole thing, like he produced completely by himself and shit, and like that's a really cool album. It's almost hard to find online.
Yeah.
That's probably like my favorite project by him. He did like a thing with like DJ Premier and I don't remember who else was on that track.
I like
but he
DJ
did that
Premier.
on like his last album. Obviously the one that he did with Thrift Shop and what was it, Can't Hold Us, and that fucking album took over the world. That was kind of crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, whatever. It was just like poppy shit that everybody could play, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's kind of whack, I guess.
Whatever.
It's too
Yeah,
bad.
not the kind of shit I want to listen to every day by any means.
No. That Lil Yachty album, I was just saying to you a few days before that album came out, we should do cover art every week with AI art. And then Lil Yachty
The
album
only
cover
AI art I
is
have
AI.
experience with is like you can upload an image and then like give it suggestions on how to alter the image. So we could always do that where like on YouTube the every week is like more tailored towards like our talking topics or something.
Yeah, we could. I'm like, fuck. I thought we were gonna come up with that idea. Now I don't want people to think we're ripping off Lil Yachty, you know?
Yeah.
Although I think they're different target audiences, so probably won't be a problem.
My clicker says 51 unless you had anything else you want to chat about.
No, I was just wrapping it up myself. Is there anything you got going on this week you want to talk about? Anything you want to plug other than my ass here?
Next two videos are wrestling videos I'm going to put up, and that's pretty much it. And then my first edited project from this year is premiering in 2 weeks on Friday, which is exciting. That's like a Heavy Metal Foundry video, which I've had the footage for a long time, and I finally made something with it, which I'm kind of excited about.
Are you wrestling in the video? All right, folks. Well, you heard it here first, I guess. Whatever the fuck we talked about, kind of whizzed by. Not too goofy of an episode, but we got her done. And stay creamy out there. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in a week.
stay creamy.
Stay creamy, everybody. Keep it real. Creamy.